It's a solo show, but it don't even matter. Go ahead, give me my theme music. What's going on, y'all, and welcome to a new edition of Sports Saga, the EndZone Gang Special Edition. As you can see, Special Edition because I'm here by myself, but we're here and back. We're here to talk about the Bears game. We're recording Sunday, about an hour and a half after the game is ended and everything. Just brutal, man. Just brutal. You think as a Bears fan, there's not, they can't let you down any more than they've let you down the previous week, but in true Bears fashion, they find a way. They get waxed last week by the Chiefs, but we all kind of saw that coming. We knew that was going to happen. We didn't really, or at least I didn't have any expectations for them to win that game at all, going up against Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league, all that kind of stuff. I didn't have them winning it all, so I wasn't really surprised by it. But to not come out and put up really much of a fight, for them to have their starters out by the third quarter and resting and whatnot, like, bro, just come on, man. And then for this week, this game, it kind of looked like, hey, we're getting off to old, typical Bears fashion. The fucking Broncos get the ball, go down, score. It's like, oh, God, here we go again, same old Bears, same old stuff. But, they didn't do anything else in the first quarter. The Bears didn't do anything in the first quarter. Then they got to the second quarter. Bears took off, went on a run, 21-0 run in the second quarter. So, they finished going into the half up 21-7. So you thinking, hey, we're looking pretty good. Everything looks right. Fields is out there cooking. I'm talking about his only incomplete pass was the Hail Mary at the end of the half, which, I mean, like, if you really want to count that, you can count that, but, like, come on, it's a Hail Mary, so I'm not really holding that against him. So he was basically flawless the whole, that whole second quarter. Didn't really make any mistakes, hitting receivers on target, motherfuckers running, getting the yak going off, everything, like, DJ Moore sighting, he went crazy, over 100 yards, a receiving touchdown, a beautiful, beautiful toe tap touchdown in the end zone where he got his foot down and the other one kicked the pylon. Beautiful touchdown. Cole Kmet sighting, he ended up having 2 touchdowns and I think like 80-something receiving yards. Like he you know what I mean? He showed up and he showed out. What's the other name? The receiver, Claypool. He was a healthy scratch. He didn't even play in this game. They sat him down. Which was kind of crazy because what it sounded like was reports where he was going, like, it sounded like he was gonna play maybe, but then after the whole kind of comments that he had with the reporters and whatnot, they kind of sat him down, and it seemed like Fields thought he was gonna be going into the game and everything, and he wanted him to be there in the game, but this whole Claypool situation with them going on trying to trade him for a 5th and 6th, that clearly was a waste of a second round pick. That didn't work out, so that's very unfortunate. So, yeah, that is what it is. With Claypool, he's pretty much done in Chicago. He's on his way out the door. So, it is what it is. That was a failed experiment. Fields, I mean, he looked great. Him, DJ Moore, Mooney, Khalil Herbert, he went crazy. Did he have, he had over 100 yards rushing. He had 18 carries for 103 yards, which is 5 yards a carry. 5.7 yards a carry. Let me give him that 0.7 because that's almost 6 yards a carry, which means, like, running first and second down is almost like guaranteed. It's not guaranteed a first down, but according to the clip that he was going, it's basically a first down every 2 carries he has. So they look solid. The offense, everything humming, looked really, really, really good. The defense looked really great the first half. And then in typical Bears fashion, it all fell apart. So they scored in the third. The Broncos scored in the third. And then the Broncos just went crazy as fuck in the fourth quarter. This game, I know people have, the whole kind of Fields debate, Fields argument. For me, I've been kind of on the side basically since we got him, I wanted him to like truly get a actual chance. He didn't really get a legit chance under the whole Matt Nagy era and all that kind of stuff with them and the stuff they did with Andy Dalton and all that. He never truly got a chance there. You bring in the new regime with Flus and whatnot, and he's just proven to be a terrible, terrible, terrible head coach. So I don't know how much we can really evaluate how much of a fair evaluation Fields will really get just based on Eberflus being the head coach last year and the train wreck that the show is turning into this year. We talked about it in one of our EndZone game episodes. Fields, how he looked. If we truly go on what he's been doing, watching him, if we want to give him an evaluation, you started at the beginning of last year. He did not look good the first half of last year. The second half of last year, when the offense was clicking, he looked amazing. It was really just a question of how much could he continue to develop as a passer, which is why we brought in DJ Moore. But then you start this season and you take a huge step back from what they had been doing in the last season as far as like design runs, getting them out in motion, getting them out on the edge to kind of throw or whatnot, and using his legs as a weapon and everything. Just they didn't use him like that. So it's like, why have you all gone backwards as far as like trying to develop and play calling and everything? So I really don't feel like he's getting a fair shake at this with the organization, man, which is really gonna piss me off because he may not be a superstar. He may not be the franchise quarterback that we've hoped for him to be. But from what we've seen when he's on, he looks like a competent quarterback, at a average quarterback at the very least. It's what I'd say about him and how he plays. So I just feel like, man, he's not going to get a fair shot here. He's going to go somewhere else, and he's probably going to succeed. Now, maybe, like I said, he might not be that superstar that we hoped him to be, but I guarantee he's going to be an average, competent quarterback, somebody who you can legit, like, I wouldn't necessarily say, like, Kirk Cousins, but in that kind of realm, like, you have a quarterback who's going to be legit, be, even kill steady forward and get you to the playoffs and everything pretty much every season, so that's kind of the quarterback kind of mold, not play style and all that kind of stuff. But as far as like career type, when he gets out of Chicago, that's the kind of career I feel he's gonna have, because you see how distraught he was at the very end of the game. He had a fucking career day. Completion percentage over fucking 300 yards passing for the first time, 4 fucking touchdowns, and y'all still found a way to blow the game, bro. Like Chicago Bears fashion, man. It just blows my mind every single week in and week out. Because we're currently on a 14-game losing streak. The last game we won was last season in October against the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken. It's ridiculous at this point. It is beyond ridiculous. My whole kind of overall views of it is Eberflus, he's got to go. I'm essentially willing to keep Getsy for the rest of the season just because of what he did the second half of last season and what he did in this Broncos game. It really looked like, he finally figured out, like, hey, let me go back to calling the stuff that I was calling last year for Fields, except now we have more talent, like at the receiver positions and whatnot. So just we'll see what happens. I'm done on Flus. He's got to go at this point. I'm fine with keeping Getsy around to the end of the season to see how the offense and everything could look going forward still. But then at that point, if things haven't changed, I'd be ready to go on from him as well. It's going to be unfortunate because it looks like Fields, he's going to be done here in Chicago. The real crazy thing is the rumors are kind of sprinkly rumors and whatnot, is he might end up in Atlanta. And because Desmond Ridder is trash. So if he ends up in Atlanta, that could be really, that could be something, you know what I mean? Because they have Drake London. You can finally unlock Kyle Pitts because he's seemed like kind of I wouldn't say a bust, but he hasn't lived up to the hype that he's had being that high drafted as a tight end and whatnot. But I feel like that's because Desmond Ridder is trash and can't really get him the ball. So, you have Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson. Then you put in Fields, that read option with those two, receiving threats. That could be pretty dangerous. So hopefully he ends up here. But if the season continues to go the way it's going to go, we're going to end up with the number 1 pick. That means we're going to end up getting Caleb Williams, trading Justin Fields to see what we can get for him, and then probably using that other first round pick that we had to get Marvin Harrison Jr., which would be cold. You have DJ Marvin Harrison Jr. and Caleb Williams. I mean, like, bro, that would be nasty, you know what I mean? And then it would be Caleb Williams on the rookie scale, so you could bring in more talent and everything. So, and fucking Marvin Harrison Jr. on the rookie scale as well, as far as like receiver money. So that would be, really good. And then it just be a matter of who we want to bring in as a head coach, and the high kind of talks and whatnot that I've heard, and I'm kind of really all for it, just based on how they've been going from last season into this season and how they look this season as well. The offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson for the Lions. Like I said, I put in a tweet, like, I love what their offense looks like. Like, he's dialing that thing up and making Jared Goff look amazing. So imagine what he could do with like a quarterback who has talent like Fields, not just to help develop his passing, but then you add the leg game element into it as well. Like, that would be kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm really for that. Like my tweet said, I'm not sure how coordinators would do going into a coaching position, because we saw what was going on with Eberflus being a DC and him getting the first head coaching job. He's trash. So being a good coordinator doesn't necessarily translate into being a head coach, but my hopes are there for him just because he's really had that Lions offense dialed up since last season with Jared Goff moving forward into this season, and they're a legit playoff threat this year, a legit playoff contender. So I'd love to see him in Chicago. My whole thing, I've gone back to saying this, I wanted us to get Brian Daboll instead of Matt Eberflus, just because we saw what Daboll did with not Justin Fields, what he's done with Josh Allen and how that helped, and when they got in Stephon Diggs, so it'll kind of be the same thing. Him helping Justin Fields, then bringing in DJ Moore to help out even more, you know what I mean? So it would have really... If we would have gotten him and then Fields would have been, you know what I mean, kind of ass, then we know it's like, okay, Fields got to go. But this whole regime, you can't get a real true read on him, because you see the talent is there. You see what he can be. Now, I'm not saying he's going to have he's not going to miss any passes type shit, you know what I mean? But you see what he can be when he's operating at a high level, man, when he's put in a position to succeed. So it's really tough being a Chicago Bears fan. I know Bears fans, I'm with you. It's rough. We going through it, try and put a smile on your face, got the ears going and whatnot. But yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. At this point, after this game, I had to make a video just to talk about it, because Fields was amazing. The defense was pretty good in the first half, and then it fell apart in the second half, and that's Matt Eberflus as well. That's his job. That's his, what he's calling and whatnot. Now that Alan Williams is gone, he brought in Alan Williams as well. So that kind of lays at your feet as well. So at this point, it's just time for him to go and promote somebody to interim head coach, and we go from there. But I guess it would be kind of difficult, seeing as we don't have an actual defensive coordinator after what happened to Alan Williams. So the Bears are just in a mess, man. It's just a mess right now. I'll be watching on Thursday when we play the Commanders. I will be watching. I sign up for it every week to hurt myself, because I'm a Bears fan, man. I love them. Chicago Bears, Chicago Bulls. I mean, Chicago to death, and White Sox. You know what I mean? I rep hard for my city and my teams, even if they're terrible, man. So I kind of have to root for other players and all that kind of, like root for my favorite players at positions and all that kind of stuff, to have like kind of feel franchise success at this point, being a Bears fan. So that'll probably be it. Like I said, Fields showed up and showed out. 335 passing, 28 of 35, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. The interception, it was at the very end. I mean, it was kind of a miscommunication between him and Komet, but you really shouldn't have been in that position because he should have kicked the field goal before that. Even if you didn't kick the field goal, you should have put the ball in Justin Fields' hand and let him make the decision on that 4th-and-1 play, which is what I would have done. I would have put it in his hands and let him try and make a decision instead of giving it to Khalil Herbert. But that's just me. And then I can't really blame him for the sack fumble because I mean, if you watched the game and you saw it, as soon as he turned, Buddy was in his face and knocked him out. So it was literally nothing he really could have done about that. I guess maybe tried to like hold the ball and just go down, but I mean, y'all saw, if you watched the game, you saw how quick that man was in his face. Basically, as soon as he turned, he hit him. So it was like nothing he could really do. So the 2 turnovers from him in that game, I can't really put on him. Just because if you watch the game, you know, based on the situation, you understand. I mean, the pick, miscommunication, he did throw it, but he shouldn't have been in that situation because they should have either kicked the field goal or they should have had a better play call design on 4th-and-1 on the previous play. So it's just, for me, it really goes to coaching, man. And it was on display in this game to have a 21-point lead and then fucking blow it basically all in the 4th quarter because you kept it even in the 3rd, basically scoring 7-7, and then in the 4th quarter they scored 17. So it was all a blown in the last quarter, man. Just a tough week to be a Bears fan, man. You see the talent in Fields, you see what he can be, but under this regime, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to reach his potential, man. So that's going to be it. You will definitely catch me on the next episode of the EndZone Gang. Not sure what we're going to be breaking down on that episode. Probably some of the Sunday games, maybe the Monday game, and maybe even the Colorado game because that was a really, really great game. But yeah, man, Bears fans, it's tough. We got to hang in there, I know, for another season. We got to just... At this point, just chuck it up. We know we're losing this season. It's really about Fields' evaluation to see if he's going to be the guy. And if he's not, be prepared to get Caleb Williams next season and a new, brand new staff, brand new coaching staff, man. So everything will be new or it'll just be a new front office staff next year at this point because we're 0-4, not making the playoffs, not doing anything really significant. So, yeah, man, maybe we'll do a video if we get some news about Eberflus being fired in the next day or two. But until then, I appreciate you all for tuning in. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button. You want to see more from the 1216 podcast and Sports Saga, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to get notified every time we drop something new, whether it's anime related content from the 1216 podcast, trailer reactions, chapter reviews for One Piece, any of the anime stuff we do, whether it's the EndZone Gang for football, whether it's Lethal Hits for boxing and UFC, or basketball will be coming soon, especially with like the Dame news and the Drew Holiday news. So we'll get into all that kind of stuff when the season starts. So yeah, man, if you want to get notified every time we drop something new with that, hit that notification bell, and I will see y'all in the next one.